All right, guys, welcome in to another edition of Good Day, Bad Day presented by Yoshimura. And if you're new to this, I wanted to create kind of a reaction video, some type of breakdown video, something along those lines. And I remember saying to myself, I'm like, well, this guy had a good day. This guy had a bad day. And I'm like, yeah, you know what? That actually kind of makes for a good video idea. So here I am making a video about yesterday's race at RedBud, which was, in my opinion, absolutely insanely good for multiple, I guess, array of reasons. But on that, we will save for the podcast that we film, which I might film later tonight. As you can see, I am not in my house right now. I'm gone at the moment, and you're going to see a little bit of a different backdrop this time. And but still bringing you some videos and different content and stuff like that from the weekend. But let's jump right into it. Okay, who had a good day in the 250s? Joe Shimoda, Jalek Swoll probably had the best days, in my opinion, of the two. Joe getting his first win this year and doing it in a fashion where, I mean, he seems to be the only one that really can take Deegan to a place where Deegan, I don't know, I guess other riders can't really do it. Joe doesn't seem phased by Deegan and stuff like that. And so for him to get a little bit momentum, that was pretty impressive. Joe definitely had a good day. There was the president of Honda was in town. You had a race or at a track that's very historic. RedBud is probably the biggest and most important race in outdoors. I would say, in my opinion, I could be wrong in that, but it seems like to me is that race is one that a lot of people try to win, and to have everybody that was there to be able to celebrate that win with him, I mean, that was super good. That was super awesome to see. But Joe having just such a good day riding the bike, being in control, didn't seem like he was riding over his head. Like, there were so many different things that the guy was doing that was flat out phenomenal, you know, and others have had good flashes. But even it was right before Joe broke his hand in Supercross, that dude was performing on a level that was just as good as Deegan. There's no other rider, in my opinion, in 250s that can hang with Deegan. Joe is one of them, and Cole Davies was another, but obviously Davies is out. And it's really cool to see, just because I think Deegan thrives off competition. And so to have him have somebody that is going to be able to kind of light that fire under him, I think is a very good thing. Also with Jalek Swoll, I think I'm also kind of stamping a good day for him. Is that dude just came back from one of the gnarliest, I would say, injuries. I don't know if it would be the gnarliest injury, but it's definitely an injury that you have to kind of keep an eye on, right? Okay, so with Jalek is he's been the type of guy that, in my opinion, is the epitome of somebody that like doesn't give up and like the no quit attitude and stuff like that. Like, I've written Jalek off, right? I didn't think that he would have a good ride. I didn't think that he would necessarily do even getting a podium. I mean, right? He's had some flashes, he's had some things, but for him to be able to do what he did after the Achilles, and I think his second race back was very impressive. I mean, is one of those rides that you kind of see and go, okay, there's something there. Triumph needed it, right? I mean, that was a good day for Triumph. You had Jordan Smith like jumping off the track and then almost getting taken out, or did get taken out by a cable holding up a monster can. And it was, I mean, that race was an incredible feat by Jalek. He seemed like he had it, you know, kind of had that fire built up under him. It was just overall, it was just, in my opinion, it was just a great race by Jalek. You want those guys to get these types of rides every once in a while, and he was able to do that. And that's what I like about seeing guys like Jalek work their asses off day in and day out, came back from injury, but not necessarily the underdog, because you wouldn't ever really think of Jalik as being that guy. Like, I mean, I would say sometimes Joe is considered an underdog, right? Like you wouldn't peg him as being the winner of the class, right? You would consider, I mean, if you think about the 250s, who do you really think is going to win a race? Hayden Deegan. If Cole Davies was healthy, probably Cole Davies. Joe Shimoda is, I think, third in that list, right? I mean, if you think about all the other guys, like Vial is still in 250s. I don't really consider him to be a 250 winner. I mean, he hasn't really won races, right? So if you think about it, is Joe's kind of the underdog if you have Cole Davies and Hayden Deegan there. That's why I don't really put Jalik as an underdog. He hasn't really shown that in quite a while. And so for him to be able to do that, it was a very, very, very good day, in my opinion, for him and a few others, right? What I try to do with this show, or what I'm going to try to do with this show, is just kind of get one or two people that really deserve of a good day. And then when it comes to a bad day, I wanted to give it to Hayden. I wanted to stamp Hayden Deegan with a bad day, which in his opinion, it probably was a bad day. But when you really think about it, the dude salvaged a lot of points by getting second. I want to say, what was it? I have the results right here. Sorry. I should be more prepared. But the first moto was terrible. And the second moto, he got, what did he finish? So Deegan finished fifth overall. And I want to say he finished second or third. I can't remember if it was second or third in the second moto, but he kind of salvaged it. Is a 14th a bad day? Absolutely it is. I mean, I guess if you want to half stamp Deegan with a bad day, you could. In my opinion, you have guys like, of course, I'm on 450s. You have guys like Kitchen. He finished second in the 19th. I mean, that's for Kitchen, of how well that dude was riding to get a 19th, like in the second moto, that wasn't a good day for him. Oh, honorable mention. I forgot Parker Ross. That was a damn good day for him. His best career finish of an 8th. But I would say you could put Tom Vial, Jordan Smith. I would kind of stamp those two guys as having a quote unquote bad day, right? You have Tom Vial, who is the Supercross champion that may or may not be going to MXGP. We have no idea what he's going to be doing there. But it's for him to finish overall, what was it? Overall 13th, a third and a 21st, not ideal. I mean, and you could even put some of these guys like Hammaker. What's going on with Hammaker? You know what I mean? Like, you had such a high with him coming off Supercross, and be able to do what he's doing he's not really performing. And so there isn't really a clear-cut winner of the bad day, in my opinion, on the 250s. Everybody just kind of, either one guy had a really bad race and then made up for it the other one, and I mean, there isn't really anybody that just really, quote unquote, shit the bed. So I can't really give that one to anybody in particular. And yeah, I don't know. I mean, what do you guys think on the 250s? I could be completely wrong. You guys could say, no, you're an idiot. This is who it is. That's fine. That's what this is for. It's an open forum. I want you guys to comment on these things, to say, hey, no, this is who we think had a bad day, and this is why, right? If you're going to put a name, put a reason why. Okay? Don't just leave it to where, I have to kind of figure out why you think Rider D had a good day. Whatever it is, right? So, yeah, 250s was kind of overall. I'm trying not to go too in depth on these, because I will go more in depth on them with my brother on the podcast, but I'm just trying to get like a instant reaction kind of a thing. So moving over to 450s, I don't want to put Jet as a good day every single time. I'm going to honorable mention him because he came from so far back in that second moto to be able to get the win, that it was a feat. It was something that was very impressive. One of the most impressive rides I've seen him. So I'll kind of give him like a little bit of a rubber stamp of a good day. But in my opinion, the two guys that probably had the best day, or the two guys that had a good day, was RJ and Chase. Like, if you think about it, I understand a lot of people are going to say, what do you mean, Chase? Is he just came back from not racing for a month and a half. And the dude ended up getting fifth overall. I thought on the podcast that he would get fourth, so it was kind of right around there. But he showed speed. He showed that he's going to be able to kind of run with these guys. Can he run with Jet? I don't know. But for him to be able to do what he did, that was impressive. And I'm encouraged by the sign. I have no idea what he ends up doing on the Kawasaki, or if he ends up going. I mean, it looks like he's going there, but I have some thoughts on Prado, but I'll save that for the podcast. But then RJ, dude, BDR, Hampshire. If you know what BDR stands for, you know what I'm talking about. Dude got a whole shot and was leading for a little bit and was running with the big dogs, right? And he's been a guy that you have to say had a good day at RedBud. He gave a big shout out and said like he wanted to put USA on the podium, and he did, which was freaking impressive in my opinion. And you did a third and a sixth when you have guys like Jet, Hunter, Cooper, Justin Cooper, Chase Sexton, Jorge Prado, Justin Barsha, Malcolm Stewart, Cooper Webb, AP, Eli Tomac, Jason Anderson, and all these other guys that, had kind of bad days, right? Like, I mean, he finished ahead of a lot of these guys, and he's continuing to show, like on the 450, he's continuing to show that he is a 450 podium contender. Race winner, it's like Mookie, like, right? Like Mookie, you're like, oh yeah, you were happy and you were surprised that he won, but it wasn't like, oh my God, I can't believe he won. It was just like, wow, okay. Like, it was kind of cool. RJ kind of goes along the same lines, in my opinion. And you have somebody who is really just an all around good dude in RJ. And it's really good to see him kind of get that level of return on him jumping finally to 450s, because he got a lot of flack for years about not being on 450s, all that kind of stuff, right? So you got to stamp RJ with a good day, right? I mean, you have to. In my opinion, you could always give it to Jet, especially when he rides like that. Hunter had a good day. But RJ it's the point of the good day is like somebody that kind of goes above maybe what your expectations were. Our expectations are Jet's going to win. Like you kind of go into that week in and week out thinking he's going to win, right? I don't think you're going to think, or you're going to feel he's going to finish somewhere else. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's interesting on the good days. I mean, the where you can really kind of get crazy is in the 450 bad day category, right? In my opinion, you're gonna have to give it to AP. Now, here's why I'm giving it to AP. AP has been running so well all season long, Supercross included. He faded, obviously. I think the final thing was he was sick. I don't know if that was actually confirmed, but I remember watching it and it was saying that he was sick and that he, was running a fever, all that kind of stuff. But he had so much momentum and he had so many points, and he was running with the front of the pack. And for him to have that kind of a setback, like, that's a bad day for AP. I think if he was healthy, he would have finished ahead of Sexton. He finished ahead of possibly his future teammate, Eli Tomac. He's establishing himself, in my opinion, as the top KTM guy. He cannot miss any races and he cannot have any missteps. He has to continue establishing himself as that guy, in my opinion. Could be wrong. Just my opinion. One dude, could be wrong, but that's okay. So AP, I'm kind of stamping him with a little bit of a bad day. And then Yamaha, you kind of have to say had a bad day. Now, Yamaha is not a bad bike. I don't think that this means that they're having problems. There's more behind the scenes of what's going on. But when you have Cooper Webb, Eli Tomac, and apparently Cody Schock all have issues, Deegan even had an issue with his bike. There's something going on, I think, with the race motor. I don't think that it's a production issue. I don't think it's a Yamaha issue. I just think that maybe they're maybe trying something that they're going to have to kind of change a little bit. but Yamaha did not have the best day yesterday. And Eli having a DNF, I mean, and his bike just pouring smoke. Somebody did say that there was something that somebody DM'd me and said that there could be a correlation between the cable clutch instead of using the hydraulic clutch and kind of warming up the motor. And apparently Hayden runs it too. And Eli, we know, runs it. I wonder if Cody Schock runs it. But I feel like Deegan last year ran harder on his bike than he did this year. So it kind of surprises me that if that's what the issue is, I feel like Deegan pushed his bike gnarly hard last year and he didn't have these issues. And so that's why, I mean, I don't think it's a Yamaha issue. The Yamaha is a good bike. It is a good brand. The guys know what they're doing. I just think that there's something going on with that race motor that they kind of got to figure out. I've reached out to a couple guys. I talked to Duff in Colorado when Hayden's bike went in that first moto. And they know, he said he knew what it was. He didn't want to explain, which I don't blame him. I wouldn't either. And he just said that we know what it is. We fixed it quick, and then they kind of moved on. And so I feel like the engineers, the engine builders, all that kind of stuff are going to go back to the drawing board and maybe see what's going on, because this seems like an issue that is going to keep happening, especially at the hotter races. That's where it seems like it happens. So yeah, I don't know. I could be wrong. That's a theme of this show. I could be wrong. Maybe that's what I should name it. Yeah, after all. But it's just my opinions, and I want to put them on camera. I want to start doing this maybe a little bit more right after the races, just because things are more fresh in my mind. The hard part about doing that is when I'm actually at the races, I'm not going to be able to. And when you're at races, you can't really see what's going on as much, so it's a little bit harder. But I have a lot of thoughts that I have to save for the podcast. So we'll either record the podcast, it's today's Sunday. We'll either record the podcast tonight and it will be out tomorrow, or we'll record it tomorrow night and it'll be out Tuesday. So either or, drop the comments. Let me know what you guys think. If you're watching this, I need you guys to like and subscribe it, share it. Call me an idiot. It's okay. It's a safe space. If you guys think I'm dumb, call me dumb. That's okay. I could have a bad day if you guys all call me dumb. But if you call me smart, I'll have a good day. All right? So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you guys again. Thank you guys from Yoshimura again, being part of the program. I think having this segment is kind of cool. I enjoy doing it and hope you guys do too. So like and subscribe, comment, tell me I'm an idiot, and have a good day.